Welcome back to Sideline Story. I'm Yang Guang. Today we're talking about a quiet revolution. Not on a football pitch, not on a basketball court, but on a baize-covered table, under a dim light, with a cue in hand. Because here's the thing, if you blinked, you might have missed it. But snooker, that quintessentially British sport, the one with waistcoats and hushed crowds, is being redefined. And its new epicenter, not Sheffield, not London, but China. It's almost a consensus among fans and players. Snooker's future is in China. This isn't hype. Let me tell you why. First, the numbers. At the 2026 World Championships, the 32-player draw at the Crucible featured 11 Chinese names. 11. That's more than a third of the entire field. Let that sink in. For decades, snooker was a closed club. British, Irish, maybe a stray Australian or Canadian. Now, the Chinese flag is everywhere. Numbers don't lie. But here's what's even more impressive. This isn't a one-off. Back in 2025, Zhao Xintong became the first Chinese and the first Asian world champion. And he didn't just win, he dominated. Fast, fearless, attacking. The kind of player who makes you lean closer to the screen. And he's not alone. You've got Ding Junhui, the godfather, the pioneer, still grinding after 20 consecutive Crucible appearances. You've got Xiao Guozhong, a tactical master. You've got Wu Yizhe, Si Jiahui, Pang Junxu, all under 25, all hungry. This isn't a golden generation. This is an assembly line. By comparison, the last golden generation of British snooker, Ronnie O'Sullivan, Mark Williams, John Higgins, are all in their 50s, and they are still among the best British players today. Judd Trump seems to be the only British hopeful still young. So how did this happen? Luck? No, this is system. Think of it as the Chinese snooker factory, and it starts young, really young. At the CBSA World Snooker Academy, nicknamed the Tsinghua of Billiards, kids as young as 8 are put through a regimented, almost military-style program. High-definition cameras tracking every angle, VR simulations where they face virtual versions of Ronnie O'Sullivan. And the results? Since 2013, that one academy alone has produced a third of China's pro players. Over 80% of them are post 2000 births. But the secret sauce isn't just technology, it's community. In Sheffield, the spiritual home of snooker, the Chinese players live together, eat together, fight over the last piece of Sichuan pork. Zhao Xintong and Zhou Yulong once settled a dinner bill with a frame of snooker. That's not just training, that's bonding, that's culture. Let me tell you, among the teenagers today in China, their favorite sports, snooker must be one of them. Billiard rooms are everywhere. Not only in metropolises like Beijing and Shanghai, but in small towns and even villages. Now let's address the elephant in the room, or rather, the elephant in the waistcoat. Some traditionalists will say, but snooker is British. The Crucible is sacred. The history is here. To which I say, sure. And the golf was Scottish, and the football was English. And look where those sports are now. Snooker needs China more than China needs snooker now. Think about it. China now hosts 6 ranking events a year. That's nearly a third of the global tour. The sport has 1.4 billion potential eyeballs. Over 300 million young people have played the game at some level. Of course, the economies are undeniable. When Chinese players go deep in tournaments, viewership spikes. When they don't, ratings drop. Even the greats know it. Ronnie O'Sullivan, who is practically an ambassador now, has said openly that China is the future. He's not being diplomatic. He's being realistic. Maybe it's also why the likes of Ronnie, Neil Robertson and Judd Trump applied for the Hong Kong citizenship. But let's not get carried away. There are cracks. Defense, safety play, mental endurance over marathon matches. These are areas where Chinese players, especially the younger ones, still lag. Si Jiahui once gave away 58 points in fouls in a single match. That's not a loss, that's a lesson. But here's the thing, every emerging powerhouse goes through this. The Chinese swimmers, the Chinese tennis players, they learned, adapted, and came back stronger. Snooker will be no different. So where does this leave us? In 10 years, I predict half of the professional tour will be Chinese. The biggest snooker tournaments won't just occasionally leave Britain. They will land in Shanghai or Beijing or Shenzhen. Not because tradition dies, but because capital, talent, and passion shifts. Stephen Hendry said it, in 10 years, Chinese players will dominate. Fu Jiajun went further. The only surprise is that it didn't happen sooner. Zhao Xintong himself said something that stuck with me. He said, "Don't think snooker is British. This can be our sport." And when a reigning world champion says that, you listen. So is the next snooker great Chinese? Look at numbers, look at the system, look at hunger. The answer isn't just yes. The answer is they already are. With that, we end this episode of Sideline Story. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this, share it with a friend who still thinks snooker belongs to the past. And don't forget to subscribe to Sideline Story wherever you get your podcasts. For more, you can also check us out at radio.cgtn.com. Until next time, stay on the sidelines with us. I'm Yang Guang.